आज पनि कङ्क्रिटको च्याप्टर नम्बर 6 टेस्टिङ अफ मसनरी स्ट्रक्चर 6.1 बेसिक फिजिकल टेस्ट 6.2 डिटर्मिनेसन अफ मोर्टार स्ट्रेन्थ 6.3 डिटर्मिनेसन अफ ब्रिक स्ट्रेन्थ 6.4 डिटर्मिनेसन अफ स्टोन स्ट्रेन्थ 6.1 बेसिक फिजिकल टेस्ट वाटर एब्जर्प्सन इफ्लोरोसेन्स वार्पेज सेप एन्ड साइज साउन्डनेस हार्डनेस structure, bulk density. Water absorption test. Difference between weight of open dry brick and saturated brick expressed in percent. 24-hour immersion cold water test. 6-hour boiling water test. For handmade bricks should not greater than 25% by weight. For machine made high-class bricks should not greater than 15% by weight. Efflorescence test 24-hour immersion test. The soluble salt cause efflorescence on surface of bricks. To find out the presence of salts in brick, it is immersed in water for 24 hours. Then it is taken out and allowed to dry. Presence of white deposit indicates the presence of soluble salts. NIL slight 10%, moderate 25%. AB 50%, serious greater than 50%. High class brick slight and second class brick moderate. Distilled water test. Brick samples are placed in a dish with 25 mm depth of distilled water to completely saturate. Placed in a warm between 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius well ventilated room until all the water in a dish is absorbed by the specimens and the surplus water evaporates. Covered dams so that excessive evaporation from the dish may not occur. When brick appears to be dry, a similar quantity of water is placed in a dish and it is allowed to evaporate as before. Efflorescence are examined after the second evaporation. Warpage test. Warpage of the brick is measured with the help of flat steel or glass surface and measuring ruler or wedge of steel. 60 into 15 into 15 mm. Concave warpage. Place the brick on flat surface with concave downward surface. Measure the greatest distance of the brick surface from the edge of straightness by a steel rule or wedge to the nearest 1 mm. Convex warpage. Place the brick on the flat surface with the convex surface in contact with the flat surface. Measure the distance to the nearest 1 mm from flat surface to the four corners of the brick and take the maximum of 4 measurements. So here is a figure of measuring weights. Shape and size test. All the samples should not have same shape and size. All the samples should have same shape and size. As per Nepal National Building Code NBC 109 to 1994, dimensions of Nepal standard brick mm. Length 240, breadth 115, height 57, particle mortar joint 10. Remark for 10 mm mortar joint. Length of brick 2 into width of brick plus 1 particle mortar joint. Individual brick size and length of 20 bricks class A. Individual brick size nominal dimension mm, length of 20 bricks mm. Class A length 250. Second मा छ A को ब्रेड 115, थर्ड को A को ब्रेड 57. त्यसपछि यहाँ मिनिमम मा छ A को लागि फर्स्ट मा छ 4700, सेकेन्ड मा छ 20 to 40, थर्ड मा छ 1170. त्यस्तै म्याक्सिमम मा छ फर्स्ट मा छ 4860, सेकेन्ड मा छ 2360, थर्ड मा छ 1270. इन्डिभिजुअल ब्रिक साइज एन्ड लेन्थ अफ 20 ब्रिक्स क्लास बी. यसमा चाहिँ क्लास बी मा चाहिँ 240, 115, 57, 4660, 4660, 2200, 1150, 4880, 2360, 1270. Measurement of length, measurement of width, measurement of height. Soundness test. When two brick samples are struck with each other or with metallic equipment, it should not break and produce clear metallic ringing sound. Hardness test. There should not There should not any impression left on the surface of brick when a scratch is made by fingernail on a brick surface. Structure test. A brick is broken. A brick is broken and its broken surface structure is examined. It should be homogeneous, compact and free from any defects like holes, lumps, organic materials, etc. Bulk density test depends upon the specific gravity of unburned materials, manufacturing and burning process. Density is equal to mass by volume. 6.2 Mortar determination of mortar strength. Compressive strength test. Prepared a cement and mortar of required ratio and filled a 50 mm or 100 mm cube mold in 3 layers. Each layer is damped 25 times with tempering rod. After 24-hour cure them in water till testing. After 28 days, place the test sample in compression testing machine and applied load until crossed. Load is applied at the rate of 14 Newton per mm square per minute and load at failure is noted. Compressive strength भनेको crossing load by loaded area. Take average value of 3 cubes as compressive strength of mortar. Tensile strength test. Prepared a cement and mortar of required ratio and fill the briquettes. Compact mortar 24 times with tempering rod. After 24 hours, cure them in water till testing. After 28 days, place the test sample in tensile testing machine and apply load until crossed. Tensile stress भनेको crossing strength by area. Take average value of 3 cubes as tensile strength of mortar. Determination of brick strength in 6.3. Compression strength test. Brick immersed in water for 24 hours. Frog is filled by 1:1 to 1:3 rich mortar and stored under shade for 24 hours and then immersed in water for 3 days. Loading surface must be smooth and level. Placed in compression testing machine with frog filling upward. Load is applied at the rate of 14 Newton per mm square per minute and load at failure is noted. Compressive strength. Maximum load at failure divided by loaded area of brick. For common bricks should not less than 3.5 Newton per mm square. For high quality bricks should not less than 14 Newton per mm square. Flexural strain test. Brick immersed in water for 24 hours. Fill depression with rich mortar, if any, placed in the testing machine. Load is applied at a uniform rate not greater than 300 Newton per minute. Breaking load is recorded. Flexural strain F is equal to 3PL divided by 2 BD square. P भनेको load in Newton, L भनेको span in mm, B भनेको width of brick in mm, D भनेको depth of brick in mm. (6.4) Determination of stone strength. Crossing strain test. Sample is cut to made 40 mm cube and sides are smoothly finished. Placed in water for 3 days and tested in saturated condition. Load bearing surface is covered with a layer of plaster of Paris or of 5 mm plywood. Load is applied axially on a cube at a rate of 14 Newton per mm square per minute. The crossing load is noted. Compressive strength भनेको crossing load by area of load bearing face. SN भयो, name भयो, compressive strength Newton per mm square. Laterite 2 to 3, limestone 50, sandstone 70, granite 70 to 130, slate 70 to 200, diorite, syenite 80 to 150, basalt 150 to 200, gneiss 200 to 400, trap 300 to 400. Hardness test. A cylinder of diameter 25 mm and height 25 mm is taken out from the sample of stone and it is weighed. Sample is placed in Dory's testing machine and subjected to a pressure of 12.5 Newton. Steel disc machine is then rotated at a speed of 28 rpm. During the rotation of discs, coarse sand of standard specification is sprinkled on the top of discs. After 1000 revolutions, specimen is taken out and weighed. The coefficient of hardness is find out. Coefficient of hardness 20 minus loss of weight in gram per gram cube. Doris testing machine. Impact test. Carried out to determine the toughness of stone. Requires an impact testing machine. Stones are filled in test cylinder of diameter 25 mm and height 25 mm. Cylinder is placed on machine and steel hammer of weight 20 Newton is allowed to fall on the specimen in cylinder. The height of first fall is 1 cm, height of second fall is 2 cm and so on. The height at which specimen breaks is recorded. If specimen breaks at NCM, then N is the toughness index of stone. Determination of strength of brick masonry. Compressive strength test. Height by thickness ratio of prism 2 to 5, 1 unit long, 1 unit thick and at least 40 cm high. Subjected to uniaxial compressive force in testing machine. Crossing load is recorded. Compressive strength भनेको crossing load by cross sectional area. Flexural tensile test. Find out by beam test as per ASTM. Point load FT भनेको P plus 0.75 PS I divided by BD square. UDL load भनेको P plus PS into I divided by BD square. FT भनेको चाहिँ modulus of rupture MPa. P भनेको maximum load applied Newton. PS भनेको weight of specimen Newton. B भनेको width भयो, D भनेको depth भयो and I भनेको span of specimen in mm. I हैन यो L होला. Shear strain test. Shear failures. Shear slip failure along base joints if shear force is greater than normal compressive force. Diagonal tension cracking if both shear force and normal compressive force are comparative. Shear compressive failure or splitting failure if shear force is a small fraction of normal compressive force. I and II type of failure are common in earthquake and concern to structural designer. Shear failure along bed joint. Moore column equation. Tau भनेको tau naught plus mu Fn. Tau भनेको ultimate shear strength of brickwork Newton per mm square 0.2 to 0.4. Tau naught भनेको cohesion or bond strength Newton per mm square. Mu भनेको coefficient of internal friction in brickwork 0.2 to 0.84. Fn भनेको normal compressive stress Newton per mm square. Experimentally, triplet test is done developed by Smith and Carter 1971. Shear failure along bed joint triplet test. Shear strength भनेको applied load by failure area. Diagonal tensile shear strength. As per ASTM, tensile shear strength भनेको 0.707 into P divided by A. P भनेको applied load Newton. A भनेको average of cross or net area of cross section along bed and edge joints mm square. A भनेको W plus H divided by 2 into T into N. W भनेको width of specimen mm. H भनेको height of specimen mm. T भनेको total thickness of specimen mm. N भनेको percentage of gross area of the unit that is solid expressed in decimal. Non-destructive test NDT. Core cutting method, penetration method, flat jack testing method, rebound hammer method, ultrasonic pulse velocity method, ultrasonic pulse velocity test, boroscope testing method, impact echo testing method, impulse radar testing method. NDT penetration method, NDT core cutting method. NDT flat jack test method, NDT rebound hammer method, NDT ultrasonic pulse velocity test method. So chapter 6 को content यति नै हो. So thank you.